Hi, folks. Nick Tockert here, and it's Art Time with Nick. Today, we're talking about a super basic intro to digital art because a lot of people see digital art as a intimidating thing to jump into. So instead of it being intimidating, we're going to jump right into it, and we're going to show you just how simple getting started in digital art can be. Now, what I've opened up here is not a format you see often. And I realize there seems to be a slight problem because it isn't showing the tools. So let me fix this. It looks like we're having just a bit we're having a bit of technical difficulties. We'll fix that in just a second if it will let me. And if not, I'll have to talk it through because it's supposed to be show the window, but it's not showing the tools. And that is a little problematic. So, let's try entire screen share. Yep, there's a lot of gobbledygook going on my screen. And it's only showing, if I go here, is it going to, nope, we're going to add that to the screen. That's not sharing things right at all. We're having some more difficulties. We'll try this one more way. And if I have to, I'll open up a different program. But what I wanted to do is be able to show you the tools I was using. And for some reason, it is hiding the tools that I use. So let's see what this is. Alrighty. If I go here, you can't see any of the overlays. Well, that is just problematic. Okay, folks. Thank you for what we're going to do. You're going to have to go by faith a little bit because I'll talk about it here. And then no. You know what? I was going to show you paint.net because it's so much easier to use. Sorry about that. We are having technical difficulties, but we're going to get that going in just a moment. I wanted to show you paint.net because it was the simplest way to get started, and it's basically free to download. I think now you can use it offline. It used to be unavailable, but we're going to instead go to Clip Studio Paint, which tends to behave a little better for streaming. It just has to wake up. So that's where it should be almost. Give me just a second. We'll put you here and you here. And we will do this. Now, guys, these lovely little issues that pop up from time to time. Let's see, what do we have? Can you see everything I'm doing? Yes, you can. Alrighty, groovy. I wanted to use Clip Studio Paint because it was easier to show. But since I don't have that, we're going to use CSP. Not Clip Studio Paint. And we're going to make a new one. And I may end up reshooting this whole. So what we'll do is we'll go YouTube thumbnail. This is a custom size I've set up that happens to be the proper orientation for making YouTube thumbnails. I can speak. And we're just going to say okay here. Now, this is really intimidating for a lot of people because there's a whole lot going on. It looks like you need to know all this stuff. And eventually, if you want to get high end into it, you do. I'm learning. I don't know what some of these buttons do, but I will give you the basics. Over here, we have our layer panel. So that's where it says layer, it says normal, and you see the little eyeballs. This is my cursor is not terribly big, but you can see this, right? Excellent. Oh, we have comments. Wow. Wouldn't say I can see everything. You're doing stand up so I can check. Hi, Johnny. That's my friend Johnny K. Incredible artist. But When we are in this, we need to pick a tool to draw in, and we need to know what layer we're doing. So this is the background layer where it says paper. This layer gets left alone. The next layer says normal. Normal makes sense because I realize a lot of people presume that folks know what that is. And you don't. Now, I'm going to expand this out. You have all these brushes. Now, this should be under pen, but it's how I organized stuff while I was learning. And this funny Japanese guy is my favorite brush. It's called Good Brush. That's what the Japanese translates into. So I'll grab it. This is a pressure sensitive brush. Okay. So if I'm on this layer, this basic layer, and I like to come over here and color code them. Blue, see how it's blue now over here? This is my sketch layer. So I can come over here and grab my color set. And all the way down here, you have colors. I'm going to grab a light blue. Grab a light blue. Yeah, that's a good blue. This is old habits from when I was when I did other styles of art. Now we have this whole layer. Now it's important to know that this layer is transparent. You see that checkerboard pattern in the square? That is transparency. That just means whatever I do to this will be shown on the bottom layer. So if I were to erase it, let's just do this. We'll grab an eraser, right? All that does is make a hole that lets you see that. You can't tell, but if I go back to the pen I had selected, I can draw on it. Yay! So I'm just drawing a stick person. Yay! Stick people. Everybody draws stick people when they're starting out. Later, you start making shapes out of the shapes and building a skeleton for what people do. But right now, we don't need to worry about all that. Boom, 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 boom. Went too far. So we got a stick person. And you know what? We'll make our little stick person have some stuff going on because I like to do something like this. It's a little more advanced as a stick person. That's fine. Why are we doing this? Because this is our sketch layer. This layer does not matter. We can make whatever we want. And this is deliberately goofy looking stuff. So goofy looking stuff, dude has gone Super Saiyan, whatever. Hey, let's give him a scarf. It doesn't matter because I can come over here, layer's gone. This layer does not matter. Total freedom in your sketch layer. Let's just keep on this where he's almost Super Saiyan, like way too much power for his power, blah, blah, blah. Right? Does it matter? Now, if I add another layer, so we're going to go here, and there's a couple little layer things. We want new raster. A word you need to learn is raster. Raster layers are standard drawing on layers. They don't have hard things like some shapes will go on vector layers. Text will go on vector layers. That's a whole different ballgame. We're keeping it bonehead simple because you guys have drawn on Microsoft Paint at some point. So I am now drawing on this layer. So I made a layer mistake. See? If I hide the previous layer, you can see where I made a mistake. So we're going to just erase my mistakes like it never happened. If only it was that easy in life. Now we'll make that layer visible again. Okay, and all I'm doing is clicking the eyeballs. Now it's highlighted. And let's give this layer a color. We'll use red for now. Red's a good solid color. So on the red layer, I'm going back here. I've got my pen, and if I go to this happy little tool up here, I've got my color selector. It gives me all sorts of good stuff. I want black. And I like 7. 7 is a good size for me. And I'm putting it away. Now, this all fits on your screen better when you're not trying to split screen while you broadcast. But I'm just going to zoom in on our goofy dude, right? Now when we know what we're on a red layer, we check that. We know we have black ink because if you look in the far corner over here, you can see the black primary. Now I'm going to draw again on this dude. And this dude's he's just doing his thing. Let's see, what does he need? Because he does look very, very kind of almost Dragon Ball Z anime. We'll give him his big, fiery, he must be a main character powering up hair. I dislike the sideburns. But we're drawing on this layer. Now it overlaps the layer behind, right? But you can't see, because if you think of these as each layer is a little plastic sheet, and you're painting with a solid marker on there. I really don't like that sideburn, so we're just gonna get rid of that sideburn because it's causing me distraction. And this is not what I would call, art for, I'm not drawing this to tell a story. I'm drawing this in part as a little practice, in part because I have now a random character design. But I'm getting distracted. That happens a lot. Doesn't need to be perfect. Give him his little fist. Give him his little wrist brace thingy. Okay. Now, one neat thing is I am, again, using a pressure-sensitive pen. So at higher sizes, if I were to make the pen bigger, he's right on the edge of the screen. That's fine. Give him wide stance. You can't really tell, but he's got like, yeah. And we'll give him some buttons. So he's got all kinds of protagonist energy already. Give him some messed up goggles. We can work with that later. Give him some very anime eyes. Make him angry. Angry eyebrows. Shortcut a mouth. Ah. Okay. Nose is irrelevant. Suddenly he's got Wakfu vibes, and anybody who remembers Wakfu gets bonus points, if anything, because that was a great animated series, both art and plot-wise. I love good world building. He needs his other little chunky piece. There we go. Let's do this. Let's make it a Vesta dude. So, we've done this. We've taken the sketch, and we didn't really follow the sketch. The sketch was an idea. Now I can come over here, make the eye go away, and guess what? I just have the black part. This is awesome. This is using a normal layer. This is one of the basic layers you need to understand. This is the one they hand you. Normal layers are cool because it is just drawing over. So as long as you can hide or delete your sketch layer, which we can do that right now. Let's get rid of the sketch layer. We're going to highlight it. And we're going to click there. We don't want the normal layer, the top layer cut up. See a little garbage can? Boom. Now it's going to say, do you want to proceed? Yes. Get out of here. So it's gone. So now we have a black that's cleaner without having to worry about keeping track of our cleaning lines. Sorry, what you're seeing with that little no. Are you seeing the no? Sorry, seeing no. Is the computer it's telling me I'm on the paper layer. Paper layer won't do diddly. I need to be back where I'm supposed to be. Now, I'm going to come here, and you see each block of this, you want to make sure your shapes, when you're going like this, are closed, okay? You don't want a lot of gaps. And we're going to do a little bit of repair while I'm here. Nothing fancy, but we don't want gaps. We want this nice and closed. Because now we can do something else. Okay, that's my phone's beeping at me. I'm not sure why, but we'll deal with that later. You can look and see the way I did the eyes. I like it, but it won't stay close. So we're going to do this and just close his angry eyes up. His mouth is open. Get that little zot line there. So it's obviously not an ear. Looks like everything is closed up on our little angry man. And because I'm an artist, I can't help but fidget. Give him pockets, you know. Maybe a little fly so he can go to the bathroom if he needs to. Great. And I'm just adding some detail. Yay. Why do we matter? Well, the next tool that's really cool is your fill tool. Boink. So we're going to select the fill tool and open up what it says. It says refer to editing layer, refer to other layers, endorse and fill, fill unpillable, and a fancy one I messed with. Right now, to keep it simple, we're going to fill editing layer. That's the layer we're messing with. This is meant to be comfortable. We have that, and we need to select some colors. And since it doesn't really matter because he doesn't really have a point, we're going to start with a nice orange. And while I still have this open, you can see everything okay. Cool. Just going to fill his hair. Boom. Boom. He's got orange. Now he definitely has main character energy. I could go with this kind of different red, orange, brown color. There we go. Let's see how that part was closed. So that gets that. And what else needs it? We're going to go into the bends. The bends are going to get that. There we go. Now, because again of, I'm going to close this for just a second. I wanted to get up in here. See, that's what happens wrong when you have the door not closed. In the follow. So we're going to go here. Come back to black. Back in black. We're going to tidy up our mess because I was sloppy. And I'm going to cheat a little bit. There. Make life a little easier for me. This isn't about making quality art right now. This is about just how to make art. Making it quality comes later. And let's see. He'll need a skin tone. Let's grab a fairly dark skin tone. He looks like he's been around the sun and out in fires quite a bit because that just fits his whole energy. And I dig it. And we'll hit this hand. Boom. Okay, so corner bro is almost done. We only need a couple more colors. That's all we're doing. We're just kind of, I'm not scrubbing colors in on this. I don't have to. Let's give him some. This bluish gray will look good on his pants. It'll be a bit different. There we go. We got the bluish gray there. And we'll go maybe a light orange. See how this looks. Yeah. Now this again is not a lesson in proper character design or anything like that. Oh, and see, I missed and hit the line, so things got screwball. I don't like that. I'm going to go back and fix that anyway. So up here is the undo button. The undo button is the absolute best thing about digital art. Boom. So we have our character. He looks kind of beefy, doesn't he? Now we need to do some other work on him. So we're going to come over here and we're going to add a layer. Boom. Now, this layer we'll grab let's make it yellow. Nice yellow layer. Actually, no. This is not a yellow layer. This is a purple layer. Purple is going to be our shading layer for now. These colors aren't assigned, and if you tweak with more or you actually take the time to click and write the name, you can. But nobody wants to sit and watch me attempt to type. This is just to make life easier. Now we're back here. Actually, here. Layer. We're in the layer. Now it says normal. Click on that. You have all these types of layers. Some are far more useful than others. We're going to use multiply. Multiply is my favorite layer type to know because with these two you can do most of the things you want to. And then we're going to come here. We're going to grab again actually I want to use an airbrush. Now open it up And we're just going to take a nice soft airbrush. 15 can work. And you want a light gray, maybe what we got? 10%? I like a good 20%. We can go much harder, but you want to be noticeable. So we're that there. What are we doing? Well, we're shading. So the first thing you have to think about is the light source. Where is the light coming from? Usually light would be coming from above up here, or maybe he's got a fire going down here and the light's there. Figuring out where the light sources are is an important thing. But I'm going to do something a little else. So what I'm going to do is assume, and I'm just drawing with the same gray. It's like, wait a second, Nick. Wait, what's going on here? This doesn't make sense. The colors are automatically changing. Yes, this is just giving a nice, smooth shade. Now, I'm shading him in the middle because the majority of the light is going to be coming from around him because he's all powering up. He's got his Super Saiyan Jojo juice going. Okay? So we're going to give him a nice central, almost silhouetted light. Still going to be some dark spots no matter what. So now it's starting to look pretty dramatic. Boom. This is a great, right here. This would be enough to get you started on stuff. This alone would be enough. Now, different drawing apps have different methodologies, but what I want to say, we can go add a layer again. Boom. Now it's still normal. When you added a layer, it's normal, but we're going to play with this layer. So what we're going to say is soft light. Whoops, that's not. I clicked hard light. We'll do soft light. And we will grab a good soft light color, something that will stick out but work. How about a nice old-fashioned yellow? We're not... What are we doing with this? Well, now we're doing this. And this is giving me what's called rim lighting. So along the edges, the rim of the picture, he has light. You don't see it real intensely in some spots, which is okay. But this blends with the effects of the shading we did to kind of give him that anime style. Oh shoot, he's powering up. Something's going to happen in here. And we're not, again, this is not the fancy stuff. I'm just learning as I go, but I wanted to share some of the stuff I know how to do. So this is a really, really nice, easy. Oh, hi, Blue Teddy. I didn't see you there because I was going to get my drawing. But this is a really nice, easy way to get rim lighting. Now we'll add another layer. Right? Actually, no, let's give this layer a color so we don't lose it. And we're going to go here. So we have our line and flat colors. We did all that on one layer. A lot of times you want to do that on two layers, but we did it on one to keep it simple. A multiplier layer gives shadows. A soft light layer gives, soft light. And that, using that, kind of working its way out, lets you get a good, almost anime feel. And I realize I want to lighten up his eyes. These three layers, normal, multiply, and soft light, will help you pull your art forward. It will make it a little bolder. It's not complex. There's a lot going on. You have to learn it as you go, but you learn it by doing. And then we can come to this. We'll say it's another layer, right? Our boy is all kind of powering up. We're going to play with this one, okay? And I'm going to say we're going to play with this one because what we're going to do, we'll go hard light. Now this is a hard light layer, and to make it easier to tell, we'll throw purple. Oh, we're already using purple, so we'll use green. Fine. This isn't my normal color coding, but I'm working my way through. Now we have the spray still. I want to go to a slightly more aggressive pen. And there are literal thousands of different pens you can buy. You can G Pen's a decent pen. I have lots of fun, shady little goofball pens over here. Paints. We'll go pen. Marker. Felt pen. Oh, look, that's literally just a plain marker. Yeah, let's use that. We're using that not because it's a good pen, but because it's a recognizable pen. Okay? So let's say we want to make it look like he's really powered up. Now, right now, it's saying hard light. Okay? And it is just dominating our boy. But you can see what you're doing. Let's say the color's right. The line's not bad, but you don't like the loss. Well, that's not a problem. Because one, this is digital art. So there are a lot of ways to clean up your messes. I really hope my time lapse is turned on here. I may have forgotten to do that. I'll double check that in a bit. Let me double check. File, time lapse. Okay, it is recording. Cool. I like to have the time lapse feature, which really doesn't have anything to do with the main purpose of this, but it lets me record what I'm doing, so I can export a little short video of how this colored up. But that's hard light. Now that isn't quite what we want. So let's try what looks like a soft light. And now it disappears. And what you can do is you can simply go through every panel. See, I like how the darken actually worked quite a bit. That's kind of clean. It layers it further, which you wouldn't think of darken as a lighting effect, but it worked. And you got multiply, color burn. And some of these, when you're trying, won't show anything. Some will do really weird things, but the only way you're going to learn what they do is to literally try them all out. The name should give you a good idea of what it will do, but sometimes you get something like this. Totally didn't intend that, but suddenly the inversion of it being a different color makes it really kind of crazy pop. And it looks like he's got something very Gurren Lagann going on. And sometimes a bunch of these won't have any effect, or it will have a little effect. So all you have to do is scroll through and decide which of these work for you. Now, I seemed to really like the way Darken made it pop. So I'm going to use Darken for that. Blue Teddy, while she's talking, says, multiply layer is my new favorite thing. I didn't realize it until a few days ago that if I set in line art as a multiply layer, I can just color under it. Yeah, I've never done that way. I've always uh gone, okay, let's go to the normal layer. So I'm on my normal layer, same layer as the black work. Go to my pen, grab a black because I want to obviously color it. So I've always gone I don't want to do this. Okay, I know what I'll do because I kind of want to keep in in theme with the image. Oh no, I've decided I am adding well, no, I'm not doing that because that would be drawing a background. And if you have layers, you should draw backgrounds on your background. So we'll just draw a mascot dude. Okay. And because it's in honor of Blue Teddy, we'll just draw something kind of like her Blue Teddy. I haven't looked at it lately. I mean, like looked, but do this, erase here, come back to the pen. The G pen's a good pen. Kind of round the eye. Now, like I said, this is a pressure sensitive. So if I push light versus hard versus light, you get different line weights. Does Blue Teddy have? Oh no, Blue Teddy has a little circle of cute. Okay, so now we're going to close Blue Teddy's thing up. Oh, that actually I don't have to because I'm not coloring it that way. And now I come to the multiply layer. My line work is safe. We'll grab a spray paint because I want it to be soft. And I'm just going to grab eyeball a good Blue Teddy blue. And you know what? Let's make this just a little larger. I want a little larger pen. Yep, it's you have to, guys. When you're using the airbrush, you have to kind of in your mind. You have to hear it. It's just one of the great joys in life. It's sort of like going whoosh when you draw a fast line. I want to fix. I see an issue. I don't like the way that line is, so I'm going back to there, and I'm erasing here, and I'm going back up to. Actually, no, I'm not because I want to stay where I am. But I need my black back. Now, a lot of people will put a palette on their art piece, but then I lose what layer it's on. So that fixes that. And then I'm going to give Blue Teddy a little. No, I don't like that. I didn't quite get that right. A little bit of, eye makeup. There we go. So Blue Teddy looks cool. Before the Blue Teddy says, oops. Before I was trying to up the contrast and select lines and cut out white from the paper, and yeah, the new way is much easier. Blue, you can go to the channels window next to your layers. There's a little dotted wheel you can pick that will select every white pixel. Hit delete, and you will have the line art without the white. Wow. Okay, wait, that's really cool. There's a little one next to you. And Blue Teddy, and more helpful information. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you, Johnny. I'm going to play with that later because I don't want to do it while I'm trying to show folks stuff. But the other thing is, remember, you can have multiple multiply layers. So if I come in here, I'm adding. I want this multiply layer. Oh, I'll do something cool. You can also reorganize your layers. But like I said, this is just basic. So if I did, get that rear. I bumped things and I lost a few layers. If I decided I wanted extra shadows in places separate from the existing shadows, I can set up multiply layer. I can put my sprayer back on. And you know what? Hold on. Let's not do that. Let's stay here. Let's stay with the good pen. How big? Oh, why is it saying no? That's odd. Something's being funky. Why are you being funky, I wonder? Oh, because you can't see it. There we are. All right. So I'm going to take good pen. I'm on a multiply layer, give myself another set of shadow color. And I went for one that's darker. That's 40% gray, not 20%. So I could do things like this. Oh, and it isn't multiply. That needs to be multiply. There we go. So now I can literally put shadows on top of my shadows, making it a more complex image. Because you may have multiple lighting sources going on. Most places do. And since she only has one shade, we'll give her a little bit of shadow under there. Put some shade in her little berry ears. Shade in a little berry circle. And just kind of imply the deadline. The jawline. I'll show you another dirty, dirty trick when it comes to multiply. Oh, wait. Thank you for the hot piece from Johnny. And appreciate the cameo, by the way. Adorable. Well, thank you. I've been wanting to do some fan art for you in general. I just have to look more at your character, and I'm only seeing your icon. So we can come back here. Let me look at where we are. We are here. Oh, let me hide that for a second because it's getting confused. Multiply. Okay, we're still drawing. Let's say I decided I'm going to just do this up. Right. Extra dark. Extra dark. I've done this extra dark. And I decide, uh-oh, maybe this does look a little darker than I want it to do. Now, there are a couple tricks I can do with it. One of the tricks I can do, and I love this trick, is, simply remove the layer, start over. Nothing wrong with undoing. I can take a fill. So if I don't like it, I could take the fill and go a lighter fill and just zip on a layer. And see, I'll show you the fill trick because I accidentally did another trick by what we're going to do is hide all this. Now, see, now I only see the shadows. But my favorite trick for adjusting shading in this sort of thing, and let's bring everybody back. Boom, boom. Oh, that's kind of creepy. I dig that. Boom. Okay, he's back. He's back again. Is to go up here. You see this little slider bar that says opacity? You just slide that dude down. And that's how, see through, how opaque, how black and solid something is. So you can use this to really fine tune something, especially like shadows. And I can come down to this other multiply layer, do the same thing. I could take my light layers and I can tweak them. Take this darken layer. I bet this darken layer would look good with a little less. Yeah, see? And now I've adjusted the general power levels of the different stuff, how impactful it is. This is a great little trick to use for playing it. I didn't really want to go much longer than a half hour, and I've already gone 40 minutes. So what I'm going to do is go through my usual routine with this. I hope this. Let me zoom out so you see what we got, because this is suddenly going to go here. I'm going to take I'm going to export the time lapse. Oh, wait, cancel. I forgot. Guys. We live in the era of AI and idiocy. So what you always want to do, always, let me check what pen size I'm running. 8's a little bold. 5 should do nicely. But you want to always take a second to and pick the right color, Nick. Wink. Sign your work. I have multiple signature styles based on how much room I have. But there we go. Now that's signed. Yay! And I think that'll do for our purposes. We'll zoom back out so you can see what it looks like. And I'm come back into file. And this is one of the great things. I turn it on ahead of time. Always hit record time lapse if you have the option, because then you hit export time lapse and you have this little video. And I don't know if it's not showing up here because it's a different frame. Yeah, you don't get to see that yet. But by exporting that, I'll have the opportunity to make another showing. And since this was the piece, we'll say I'm saving it as Art Time with Nick. Intro to digital art as a MP4. Whoops, I typoed my own name. But you didn't see, but I try to admit my own mistakes in public when I make a mistake. And what will come in, and we'll take this. We'll go right here. And remember what I said vector layers are weird? Text always goes on a vector layer. We'll expand this. And I think we'll go with orange because that fits. And I like that font. Let's see how that looks. No. Art Time. Oops. With I have my caps lock on. Everybody's gotta love the typos and mistakes because there are no real mistakes, happy accidents. With Nick. Intro. Super basic intro to digital art. And we'll go here. We'll expand this way. Expand it. Whoop, not quite that far. Whoa, there. And we'll move it like that. I don't like the framing. So let's see. We'll shrink this a bit. Can I? Nope, it's going to stay. So if I go and I hit enter, there we are. That's better. I want it framed right. Now I have a lovely little thumbnail. So I'll go here, File, export my thumbnail as export single layer. PNG, because if I have to downgrade it later, I can. ATWN Digi, so I can find it, because I don't number my Art Time with Nick videos. I refuse to. and hit OK. And that should export where I can find it. Because I'm going to probably see if it lets me upload that as a thumbnail later. Okay. Oh, does anyone know of CSP lets you block out parts of the color wheel that don't print? I know Photoshop does, but I haven't found that in the CSP if it exists. My I's and O's like to switch. Oh, I am dyslexic and dyscalculic. You're fine, hon. I don't know. I'm just learning. That's why I was going to use paint.net. But I think this gives us all a really good little intro. And thanks for your little cameo, Blue Teddy. So you got a cameo in the picture looking at this dude going completely Super Saiyan for no reason. If you like this kind of content, guys, like, share, and subscribe. Please keep the comments going. But I didn't actually plan to do this video, and I have a lot of work to do today. So I will be back on the Historical Fencing Guild Fit channel at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. But guys, keep drawing, all right? And that's on Fridays. This was filmed on a Friday. And keep creating, guys, because if you create, you can edit it, but you can't edit a blank page. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.